How to dominate interior detailing.
Hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
And this is the DIY Detail Podcast. Today we're going to delve into the tools and techniques and products that DIY Detail has to make your interior cleaning easier, simpler, faster, and safer.
We want to meet the beginner where they're at, but also the seasoned pro. I'm going to say a few things, Ivan. A vacuum is great. If you have access to an air compressor and you can use a tornado or a tornado kind of tool to blow out all the cracks and crevices in carpet, total game changers.
Yes.
We're not selling those, but we do have a whole lineup designed to help you dominate interiors. We want those foundational tools, Ivan. Is there anything else you want to say that I missed there?
No, there's steamers, there's extractors, there's all sorts of things you can use to clean interiors. But we have a specific set of tools that we try to keep it as simple as possible and as efficient as possible. And if you want to have just one liquid, one thing to do your interiors, we're going to start with something that most people don't think about for their interiors, and that is rinseless wash. Our rinseless wash can be used to clean your interior. It can be used as an anti-static spray to help remove pet hair. It can help remove some stains. It's an encapsulating liquid. So what it does is it actually breaks down the dirt and tries to take it out of the fiber. If you're dealing with carpet, it encapsulates. And like Nick has always liked his end cap cleaner, that's basically what it's doing. So that's what we have that. And it's also a great glass cleaner. And for a lot of people, the first time they clean the steering wheel with rinseless wash, they are simply amazed, because a lot of people, the first thing they'll do is dive into an APC. You don't need an APC on interiors, on I'd say 99% of interiors. It has to be really, really bad to go down the all clean route.
What I continue to realize and teach people is that we underestimate, I think, as an industry, the power of rinseless wash to clean. And maybe that's old rinseless washes, but as soon as we came out with our rinseless wash and I really started adopting your methods, it's like, you don't need an APC on that turn switch, that gets all that white residue or the, whatever you're using to put your brights on, what's it called? The
turn signal stock.
Turn signal stock.
Yeah.
Instead of that, just use some rinseless wash on a dampened towel and just work it back and forth, and then you just remove your towel and the white stuff is gone. I was like, man, so I over cleaned interiors so much. A couple other ways that rinseless wash absolutely dominates. I had a couple of dirty cup holders recently, and instead of just soaking them in APC and letting them dwell, I actually took my rinseless wash dampened towel and I let it be a little damp out of the bucket, and I just put it in. I had the towel and it went to both cup holders, and I just kind of squeezed it a little bit so that some of the rinseless went into the cup holders. And I knew just letting the rinseless wash dampened towel sit on there, even though it was a nice Volvo, I wasn't going to be staining anything by letting it sit for 20 minutes. I let it sit there for 20 minutes, worked around the car, came back, and a quick little wipe. And the coffee, the kids' gum, all the stuff that steamer and APC are the things we use on these little cup holders. The rinseless wash had basically emulsified it, broken it down, whatever it does, Ivan. Yeah. And then I just cleaned it easily. So it was like, Ivan is right. Rinseless wash on interiors is a game changer.
It is. But we have a product specifically designed for cleaning and protecting your interiors, because the rinseless wash is a spectacular cleaner, but it leaves nothing behind. And sometimes, especially on interior, we want to leave a little something behind. So interior clean and protect. And a lot of people, they just hear interior protect. They forget the clean part. It is a great cleaner, and it can be used just like rinseless wash on the vinyl, the plastic, the leather, the pleather, the vegan leather, your carpets, and even the windows, the entertainment screens, everything. A lot of people think the protection part of it is some form of greasy, slimy, leave something behind. No, it leaves anti-static protection behind. That's its main goal, and a bit of UV inhibitors. But the anti-static protection is the important part. And the reason we want anti-static protection on the interior is just so dust doesn't accumulate as quickly on the interior. Because as human beings, we actually give off a lot of dust. Or if you're like me and you drive a convertible with the top down as much as possible on gravel roads, you get a dust accumulation on the interior, whereas with the interior clean and protect, you get a lot less. I actually did a 50-50. I was testing, because we're starting testing for our type 2 interior clean and protect, and the one of the ones that I tested was night and day the current version, the Type 1, there's hardly any dust accumulation. The other one was more like a dust magnet. So there are products that will accumulate dust. There are products that repel dust, and our Interior Clean and Protect is great at repelling dust. Also, for pet hair, it's the little secret that we have. Mist a little bit on the pet hair, let it dry, and then it'll vacuum up better. Of course, it's not going to vacuum up all the pet hair. Pet hair is its own special little thing here, but it does help a lot. And if you're using something like a For Real or the Tomahawk, or what do you call it? The Hammerhead or something like that. But anyways, a great company out of Idaho. They make all sorts of products, and one of them is called the For Real, so FUR-EEL. And it's just a great product for helping to vacuum up pet hair. But when you spray on a little bit of Interior Clean and Protect, even the Rinseless wash to a certain point, but the Interior Clean and Protect is better here, does a great job.
Yeah, there's levels to this. So you could get like a pumice stone or whatever they brand it as, and that'll kind of rip up the carpet, but that will also get dog hair. Compressed air is amazing on dog hair. Sometimes nitrile gloves with little nibs on it is great on dog hair. You kind of have to approach each dog hair situation with humility and realize they're all going to be a little different depending on the dog, depending on the hair. But the anti-static break using the Rinseless or the Interior Clean and Protect lightly, right? We don't want to make everything super wet.
No, we don't want to create mud. We don't want to make it wet. We just want to break that static. So just mist it on, let it sit for a few minutes, and then vacuum.
Depending on when you see this video, we have a video coming out on Sunday, and we demonstrate how to use a polisher with our wool pad and Interior Clean and Protect. It's one of these like Ivan tricks that you got to try and you got to do it to believe, because you're going to look at it and say, that looks stupid. That looks so unsafe. Why would anybody use a polisher on an interior, Ivan? Why don't you explain what it is and how it works?
So the reason for using a polisher is the agitation. So a dual action on leather and a rotary on cloth. So if you don't have a rotary, you can still use the dual action on cloth, but the rotary does a better job. With our wool pad, and what the wool pad does, wool is very absorbent. It likes to suck up moisture. And if you've ever worn a wool sweater, you'll understand. With that, what happens is the polisher, because of the movement, because of the dual action, you're getting a lot more agitation in a lot less time and not having to apply pressure. So it's actually a very, very safe way of cleaning leathers. If you have a leather that is getting a little old or is, the clear coat on it is breaking down, this is one way to clean deeply, but without a lot of pressure, without a lot of agitation. And just one quick pass does the job. You don't have to sit there with the polisher and polish for 5 minutes on a seat. It's literally one pass, and normally you're done. So you're spending a lot less time. You're not applying pressure. You're not using a microfiber towel. And you're saying, well, why not a microfiber towel? Microfiber is actually more abrasive than the wool. So you have to be careful using a microfiber towel. A lot of people will suggest a soft leather brush. Leather brush works as well, but then it takes a lot of time to get the job done, and you still need to use a microfiber to mop it up. Same with ours. If you're doing it with a polisher, you'll use a microfiber to mop it up at the end, and that's where I like the Freebird 400 for that. It's just a very nice soft towel that's very absorbent, so it's not going to scuff the leather, it's not going to abrade the leather, it's just going to absorb the liquid off of it.
It's worth noting that we will put links to all the products we mentioned in the description if you're curious to learn more about them. Now, you mentioned...
One other thing.
Okay.
Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And there's a new thing on YouTube called Hype. So just, in the little comment section there, before you write in your comment, if you swipe left or right, you'll be able to see Hype, and you can add Hype. And what that does is it's basically telling YouTube that I really like this video, and I think other people should be watching it as well. So it's like the old share of the video. People have gotten away from that. That's what this new Hype function does. So if you like the video, you'll of course give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not, and maybe hype the video too.
Yeah, maybe you don't want to annoy your friends by sharing things anymore, but you're like, this is share worthy. I just don't know who to share it with. There you go. Hype's a great option there. We appreciate you. And you mentioned microfiber, and we do actually have a microfiber towel that we suggest on interiors. So you mentioned, microfiber could be kind of dangerous. What's our interior towel, Ivan, and why is it a good option with everything you said?
Our interior towel is a two-faced towel. On the one face, you have a nice short nap, soft microfiber. On the other face, and this is where it gets really unique, is it's striped. One stripe is that nice, soft, low nap microfiber. The other stripe is a scrubbing, and it's still microfiber, but when you feel it, it feels a little more rough. And what that does is it agitates, and then the stripe beside it picks up the dirt. So it's a double whammy. It really, really works well. They make little scrubbers for interiors, and those are great. But then you're scrubbing, and then you have to wipe it down before it dries or else you're just letting the dirt re-dry on the surface. With this towel, we're scrubbing and picking it up at the same time. Now, we always suggest following up with a secondary towel just to get any excess liquid off, but it is a unique towel in the industry. We're the only ones that have it. I've never seen anyone else with this type of towel, and it's quite unique. It comes in a 5-pack, so you have more than enough to do an interior, but they are just great towels, and people who try them for the first time are like, okay, now I understand.
Yeah, the people who try them, again, it's one of those, don't knock it till you try it, because the people who try them really love them, and there's a reason for that, Ivan.
Right. It's just, we've designed it as an interior towel. Would I use it on paint? No. That little scrubbing part, not the greatest for paint. But on an interior, especially on plastics, vinyls, leathers, it is great. And combined with Interior Clean Protect or Rinseless, you've got a very strong working combination without being dangerous. Now,
and that's so important on interiors.
Yeah. Now, we do have a product that some people like to use it on interiors. We will suggest it in very, very rare circumstances, and that's All Clean. Now, All Clean for exteriors, we recommend diluting it 15-1. When you're bringing your All Clean to the interior, dilute it 30 or 60-1. You don't need the 15-1 dilution here. And my favorite use for All Clean on an interior, and this is, again, only for people up north, is the salt ring that develops after the winter, or even in the middle of winter. You've got a nice day, go out there, break down that salt ring. And what you do is you spray the All Clean, not at a distance, but the nozzle right up against that salt. And just move along the salt, let it sit for 15, 20 minutes, half an hour while you're doing something else on the interior, then come back and vacuum away the salt. You might need to scrub a little bit, but it just breaks down the salt amazingly well and takes it out of the carpet.
Salt is a tough one for those in the northern climate, so use this and enjoy. Now, we want to not forget about crystal clear and Nick's favorite glass towel, Ivan, because I don't know, when I'm doing an interior detail for myself, I enjoy it. When I'm doing one as a mobile detailer, I really reach for the crystal clear. I like Rinseless, but sometimes I feel like I put too much Rinseless in my bucket. And then if I have too much Rinseless in my dilution, Rinseless wash can get a little streaky on glass. I know crystal clear's got a straight dilution. It works super well. Yeah. Most of the time with glass cleaning, it's just about your technique. But I don't know what it is about crystal clear. I'm sure there's other great glass cleaners out there. It's one of those where it's like, do you need it? You may not, but if you're the kind of person who just wants to have something that's made for glass, it works very well. There's no streaks. Like, I just reach for crystal clear most of the time if I'm doing windows. Now, if I was on a budget, I would just stick with Rinseless wash. But if you kind of like to have the whole array of products that are meant for different things, crystal clear is a great product to have.
Crystal clear, first of all, safe with aftermarket tint. And it is an amazing glass cleaner. It doesn't evaporate too quickly. And that is some of the glass cleaners on the market, I find they evaporate too quickly. You want something that spends a bit of time on the glass and emulsifies and breaks down the glass. Another thing that is a difficult thing for Nick to learn sometimes, but less is more. Using too much, you're just pushing liquid around. So try to use a little less. The way I like to use it, spray it on Nick's favorite glass towel. You'll find them in the website under the Mr. Twister towel. But spray it on the towel, just one spray. You don't need 2, 3, 4, 5 sprays, and don't spray it on the glass.
Just one spray?
Just one spray. That's all you need.
All right.
Do your window, flip the towel to the other side, let it air dry to about 80%. Don't try to move the liquid around. Let Mother Nature help you a little bit, then do the other side. Quick tip, been saying this for years, but when you're cleaning glass On the interior, wipe off in one direction and on the exterior in another direction. That way, if you do get a streak somewhere, it's easy to find out where it is.
It's easy to find out where it is if you clean the glass 18 different times, but Ivan doesn't like doing that. So it's just like clean it once, one direction, on the outside, clean it the other direction. If there's a streak, you know what direction it is, wipe it off and you're good. For me, it would be like cleaning the inside, then cleaning the outside. Ooh, then maybe I'll clean the other side with a circle, and then I don't even know which side I did diagonally. And then, I'll get the result, Ivan, but it's easier to do it with less steps. And
I'll have all the windows clean in the car while you have one clean. So
that sounds about right. No, it sounds about right. So no, the techniques work.
There's one other glass cleaner that we have. So we've mentioned Rinseless Wash, Interior Clean Protect, of course, Crystal Clear. For the people that smoke, for the car that the windows haven't been cleaned in a long time, it's our Panel Prep. Panel Prep is a very, very good glass cleaner. If you're using C6 Hydro glass, it's a must-have before putting it on. But that's the outside. We're talking about the inside. On the inside, you definitely have issues sometimes. There are windows that just don't want to get cleaned. And if that's happening, that's when I'll reach for our Panel Prep.
Yeah, it's like I've done all the things Nick and Ivan suggested to clean. I've used Rinseless. I've used, Crystal Clear. I use Nick's favorite glass towel. Why isn't it coming clean? Just grab the Panel Prep. That's one of those where it's just like, if for whatever reason this wind, and it's usually just the interior glass, the windshield. The side glass is usually pretty fine. Even with dog slobber or kids, Rinseless will cut right through that. So will our Crystal Clear. Like, that's not a concern. It's just the interior glass can be such a pain, and you're reaching in. And what do you make of all these, reaching tools, from different brands? I've used them in the past. I thought they worked okay, but they sell a lot of them. I mean, do you need those for interior glass if you have
depends on your window? Yeah, like for you, let's look at your two vehicles. The Jeep, it's very easy to reach the window no matter where you're going. Yeah. Whereas the Subaru, getting down at the bottom base of the dash is a little far away. For us, the Ford Escape that we have, that dash is long. It's hard to get down there. So different vehicles, different needs. But yeah, if you're having problems reaching that last little bit at the bottom of the dash, then get one of those tools. They work well. For those of us that are a little older, if you remember like the Chevy Lumina vans or the Pontiac Transports, you'll know exactly what I'm meaning about. You had to lie down on the dash to be able to reach all the way. The dash was really, really long on those. So
there's a time and a place for these specialty tools for sure.
Yes.
Speaking of more specialty items on the interior that are excellent, but you're not going to use maybe every time you clean the vehicle, let's talk about interior ceramic, Ivan.
Yeah. Interior ceramic, like Nick said, it's not something you're going to use every time. It's going to be something you'll use once every year, every 2, 3, 4 years maybe. But just a great, great product. It's not going to make your seats or your carpets hydrophobic. That's not the goal. It encapsulates the fibers, the leather, the plastic, whatever you're working on. It encapsulates it and makes it so that the dirt can't stain it. So it's a stain barrier more than anything else. It makes your interior a lot easier to clean, and it's super long lasting. It is a ceramic coating, so you have the possibility of getting high spots if you use too much. You want to apply it not liberally. You want to be applying it sparingly, so one bottle goes a fair distance. On your carpets, it's great. Fabric seats, again, wonderful. Leather, plastic, vinyl, piano black, navigation screens. Anything on the interior other than the windows is fair game for this. And the interior ceramic just makes it so much easier to clean in the future. For the driver's seat, the steering wheel, maybe the driver's door, you want to re-up the protection maybe once a year. Everywhere else in the car, maybe every 3, 4, or 5 years. And it's not only limited to interiors. If you have a convertible, your convertible top, interior ceramic is a great product for that. If you have a pickup truck with a soft vinyl tonneau cover, again, interior ceramic is the proper product to use. And around the house as well. You have shoes, your new couch, you have a raincoat that you want to protect even more and get a little better in terms of hydrophobicity, then interior ceramic can help. It's not meant to be super hydrophobic, but it does help a little bit.
You mentioned not to use interior ceramic on windows. Folks may be like, well, you said it was safe on everything on the interior. Why not glass?
We don't want anything hydrophobic on interior glass because it can promote fogging.
We don't want fogging. Is that kind of the water
No.
beads like you'd see in the hydrophobics of an
Right.
exterior?
Yeah, so the fogging is just like the micro beads, and that we perceive as just the windshield's gone white on the inside, and it's hard to see, and you have to turn the defroster on. So that is one of the things. That's why we don't recommend anything that promotes beading. You never want to wax. You never want to use ceramic gloss. You never want to use quick beads, a ceramic coating on the interior window because of that.
All right. Now, we use tire lotion in our tire shine brush to darken and give life to, our tires after we clean them, right?
Yes.
Nourish the rubber. But recently you've been telling me tire lotion with the tire shine brush is great on floor mats. And I want to hear Ivan LaCroix explain that, because I always worried if I'm putting tire shine on my floor mats, they're going to look great, but they're going to be slippery. What is your technique? What's the logic behind this? Because we all know we clean those leather floor mats or those rubber floor mats, and then they dry, and then there's like brown residue all around the edges, and you're like, I cleaned that, and they just never want to come clean.
No, a specific brand here, we'll mention it, WeatherTech. They're great floor mats. After a year, they just look horrible. So what the tire lotion is doing is it's nourishing that plastic a little bit. And what we're doing is less is more approach is always the best here. If you put it on your tires, and Nick, I know you use it on your tires on a regular basis, after 15 or 20 minutes, feel your tires. Your tires slippery? No. Is it greasy? No. It just feels like rubber, but it looks really good. That's what we're doing here. Now, for interior use, you can dilute it 1-to-1 or even 2-to-1 and put it on that way. I like to just spray a little bit on my brush while the floor mat is still a little damp. So I'm getting some dilution there. And then move it around. And move it around, then let it sit for 5 minutes or so and hit it with a microfiber towel, and then put it back in the car. You'll never have a problem.
So
ideally, they're
go ahead.
protected with interior cleaning or interior ceramic first. But you're a detailer. This is a new customer's car. They've never had anything on the interior. It's going to help. Also, little unknown trick here, or other way of using it. You have door panels that are scuffed at the bottom and aren't looking as good. Or you have that customer that likes the 1970s greasy looking interior. You can adjust the dilution ratio. So start with 2-to-1, see if you like it, then go to 1-to-1 or even straight if necessary, to give a little more life to that vinyl, to make it pop a little more. If it's all scuffed up, it's going to help take those white scuffs. It's not going to take them away, but it's going to give them a bit of color so they blend in a little better.
Yeah, tire lotion straight is a little rich for me. Even the smell on an interior. Cause what I did is I sprayed like 10 sprays of tire lotion, and then I just let it sit. And then I brushed it in, and it smelled like tire lotion on my interior, and the mat was a little slippery. And I said, Ivan, I don't like your tire lotion method. And then you're like, well, what did you do? So how many sprays of tire lotion do I do on the brush?
1, maybe 2.
So 1, maybe 2, and then use it on a freshly clean but still wet. So you're still diluting it a little bit as you apply.
Yeah, and that
you
extra
knock it down
moisture
right away?
helps move it around.
Okay, it helps move it around. And then do you dilute? Then do you wipe it down right away, or you let it sit? You said.
I let it sit for 5, 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
I'll wipe. For myself, like in the Escape, they're actual rubber mats. So we don't have the WeatherTech mats. We have the Ford, and they're a nice heavy rubber. I don't touch them again. In another vehicle, we have the WeatherTech mats. Those I'll wipe down. In the BMW, the Z3, we actually have, they're really nice. They're actually a quilted vinyl mat. And they're like, they go up the sides and they're everywhere. And you see them a lot in in Asia and Middle East. They're coming over here. You see them sometimes, but they're just a nice mat, and they're a vinyl. So I'll just dress those quite quickly with that, wipe it down, and good to go.
Love it. I love it. So tire lotion, tire shine brush. Now, there's going to come a time where you've got your carpet and you've got your cloth seat, and you might use Ivan's rotary polisher method with the wool. You might go that route. or you might use a drill brush, or you might use your, microfiber towel and just the old fashioned way. But we also have a brush, Ivan, that works great on carpets.
Yeah, so we've traditionally sold it as a tire scrubbing brush, and it works great for that. But it's also great for when you want to scrub the carpets. You have that stain in the carpet that you want to get out, that you might need to, go as far as all clean, whatever, but you want to deeply scrub the carpet. That is a good brush for that. Also, you have a floor mat that's, for years, no one really took care of it, and it just has dirt just impounded in it, and it's just there, and it feels like a brick. Use that brush before you get the carpet wet. You want to use it dry. Use that, and it's going to lift up and separate the fibers, making it a lot easier to clean. Then you can vacuum away a lot of that before getting it wet. One thing that's important on interiors is to always work as dry as possible. As soon as you introduce moisture, that dirt now becomes mud.
Yeah, you can't really go back a step once you incorporate the mud aspect. You have to give it a lot of time to dry. So that's one thing I learned on my 2-day carpet cleaning technician training that I did way back in the day. It was just about removing all the dry particulates first,
Right.
And they emphasize when you're in houses, do a couple extra vacuum passes, right? A lot of cleaners get in there and they kind of skimp on the vacuum side and then they go to town. You really want to remove everything you can in the dry step first. So in cars, compressed air is amazing with the Tornador or whatever tool you have. Vacuums are great. And if you don't have any fancy tools, you just have a vacuum and your elbow grease, you just use that brush and then use the vacuum at the same time, and you're kind of doing two at once, and it can do a great job.
It's also good for pet hair. So if you have that really, really nasty pet hair, the rubber brush isn't doing anything, or the rubber glove, or the for real, that's sort of the last step. It works almost as good as the pumice stone without doing as much damage to the carpet. And if you do happen to touch the plastic beside it, you're not going to scratch it. So it's a good brush for that. The other use that I have for that brush is, again, that salt ring. So I've sprayed the all clean on, let it sit for 15, 20 minutes, then break it down with that as I'm vacuuming.
Look, Ivan, cleaning interiors actually can be a ton of work, but it can also be really rewarding and fun, especially on your own car. It's a minimal ROI because you're not worried about the customer. So it's like, you don't have to go all the way down the rabbit hole. You can choose, hey, I'm not even going to do the back seats today. I'm just going to do the cockpit. But you get that cockpit dialed in, and all of a sudden you get in the car, it's like, oh, this just feels so much better, right? So there's you wash the car, it gets dirty. You wash the car today, tomorrow, stuff flies on if you don't park it in the garage. And you're just like, dang it, I know it's clean, but you do your interior, and it kind of stays nice for as long as you keep it nice. So it's really like, it's a longer, more mature executive function part of the brain move for your vehicle, I think.
Yeah. And the other part about doing your interior, the more often you do it, the easier it's going to get. First of all, because you don't have as much accumulated dirt. But the second thing is you develop a routine, and you develop methods as you're doing it to get faster, to make it easier, to make it simpler. And once you have that mechanical aspect of making it, being methodical, you end up with such a nicer interior to begin with. But secondly, it goes by faster. It's easier. And there are two things that you have in the interior of a car that you don't have on the exterior. First of all, you can put that key to the accessory position and listen to music. Secondly, if it's too hot outside, start the car, put the air conditioning on. If it's too cold outside, start the car, put the heat on. Those help you, and it makes the interior cleaning easier. And yes, you're saying, well, the door is open. Sure, the door doesn't need to be open the whole time you're doing the interior. And if it's a 4-door car, you don't have to have all 4 doors open. You can just leave one open, the one you're working at. Leave the other ones closed. Keep that cool or hot air in there, depending on what season you're working with, and it helps you out.
It's a philosophical kind of conversation here, but I used to think when your house is messy or your car is messy, it's a symbolic statement about where your head and your life's at. But what I've realized recently is like it can also be a reverse thing. Like I can just clean this and then my mind will be better. So it's not always a symbol of where I'm at. It's also a symbol of like what my intentions are. So I can decide I want to have a clean mind. I'm going to clean my car, right?
Yeah.
And if I clean my car, I'll have a cleaner mind. And I can even feel it now. The longer my interiors are starting to get a little gross, I think I'm just a little bit more stressed, and I'm like, what is it the chicken or the egg? Is my life a little bit chaotic and that's why they feel that way? Or could I clean up the mind and the soul a little bit by cleaning the interior? So this is just a call, an encouraging podcast for everybody out there. Clean your interior. Who cares if it's the chicken or the egg? You're going to feel better when you're done.
Yeah, that, and Nick, you have young kids that ride around in the car. If they get in the car and it's already messy, they're not inclined to try to keep it clean. They'll add to the mess. But if they get in the car and they're like, "Oh, Daddy cleaned the car. It's clean in here," I might not drop the candy wrapper, or I'll try to keep my shoes off the back seat or the back of the seat, et cetera, et cetera. So it just gives them a cue as well, And tips for grandparents here: when you're moving the grandkids around, use their parents' cars. So give your car to their parents. You take the parents' car. That way your grandkids won't make your interior dirty.
What if you've made it and you've got a nice fancy car and they're driving on a jalopy? You just do it for the day?
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
All right.
For us, Sylvia and I have always had a convertible. So the kids liked, it's like, I get to drive the convertible. So, the couple goes away. We take care of the kids. We have their car. They have the convertible. They go out on a date night and everyone's happy. So
I love it, Ivan. Hey, if there's another interior video, that people want to watch, they could learn some things. And I imagine if they're curious, they could find that video, right about here?
Yeah, somewhere in there.